There's a white tiger, probably around a dozen years old, living in a zoo. It was once the mighty king of the jungle, but now it just sits quietly in the corner of its iron cage, its eyes cloudy and distant. Every day, it paces back and forth along the same path, its steps wearing a perfect circle into the ground. People call that stereotypic behavior, a sign of depression in captive animals. The tiger had once been released back into the wild, but it no longer knew how to hunt, couldn't blend in with other tigers, and was eventually brought back to its old cage. A creature that once symbolized power and freedom has now become a symbol of pain and loneliness. But you know what? The tiger's story isn't just about the tiger, because sometimes in our modern lives, we're just like it, walking in circles inside invisible cages made of pressure, anxiety, and the limits we build for ourselves. So, how do we escape that cage? Let's start from here, where the story of the depressed tiger leads us back to ourselves. They say that before it was captured, the tiger lived on the edge of an ancient forest where sunlight pierced through the canopy and danced across its pure white fur. Every morning, it would let out a long, deep roar, not to threaten, but as a way to tell the forest, "I am alive." Then one day, that roar was silenced by the sound of a gun trap exploding. When they found it, the tiger had a wounded leg and was curled up inside a small iron cage, its eyes wide open but stripped of any defiance. It was passed from hand to hand until it ended up in a city zoo. There, its life was defined by locked gates, thick glass walls, and the constant noise of humans pointing and staring. In the beginning, it still roared, still tried to break free, but gradually it grew silent. It began pacing around the cage every day, the same path, the same rhythm, the same empty gaze. At first, people thought it was exercising. Later, the veterinarian said it was stereotypic behavior, a clear sign of depression in captive animals. It no longer reacted when food was thrown to it, nor cared when visitors called its name. Sometimes it would pause in the middle of its circle, staring through the narrow gaps in the bars, where a faint beam of light slipped in, as if searching for memories of the old forest. They once tried to release it back into the wild, but when the gate opened, the tiger didn't move. It just sat there, trembling. Afterward, they brought it to a nature reserve, but there, it didn't know how to hunt or connect with other tigers. Every time it heard leaves rustling, it would shrink back in fear, as if someone was coming to capture it again. In the end, they had to take it back to the zoo, the only place where it knew how to exist, even though there was no life left in its eyes. A creature that once symbolized strength and freedom had become weak, fearful, and completely dependent. Perhaps its deepest wound wasn't the one on its body, but the fact that it had forgotten what it felt like to live in the wild, to roar for freedom, to simply be itself. And sometimes, watching that tiger pacing around its cage, people suddenly fall silent because they realize maybe they too have been walking in circles in their own lives. There are no bars, no locks, yet there's still a cage built from expectations, pressure, and the fear of failure. We grow up being told to try harder, be as good as others, be successful. So day after day, we work from dawn till night, smile even when we're exhausted, agree even when we don't want to. We nod to everything just to be seen as okay. Then one day, we look around and realize we've been walking the same circle as that tiger. Wake up, work, get tired, then wake up again. At first, we think we're being stable, but over time, we feel drained. Not because the work is too hard, but because we've lost the sense of why we're even living. We start losing interest in the things that once made us happy. The morning coffee doesn't taste as good. The favorite song no longer stirs anything inside. We don't even know how to rest anymore. And we don't dare to stop, afraid that if we do, we'll fall behind. Like that tiger, we too were once strong, with dreams and fire. But in the relentless rhythm of life, we've forgotten the sound of our own roar. No one locked us up. It's us who've trapped ourselves in work, in responsibility, in the weight of others' expectations. Some cages are made of steel, and some are built from the limiting beliefs within our own minds. The tiger no longer believes it can survive in the wild, and we often stop believing we deserve freedom, rest, or the right to slow down and listen to our hearts. But perhaps the only real difference between the tiger and us is that we can realize it. We can pause, look at the cage we're in, and choose to step out. Even one small step, that's the beginning of coming back to ourselves. Because true freedom isn't about having no limits, but about daring to face our fears and learning to live fully, even when the world around us remains loud and restless. One afternoon, as the last sunlight slanted through the iron bars, the tiger suddenly stopped. It didn't pace in circles like it did every day. Instead, it lifted its head and looked up, where the golden light touched its eyes, reflecting a faint shimmer, something people thought had long disappeared. No one knew what made it change. Maybe it was the whisper of the wind or the scent of dry grass that stirred memories of the old forest. But from that day on, every day, it spent a few more minutes looking outside. It was still caged, but perhaps something inside it had shifted from resignation to longing. And, humans are the same. When we realize we're living inside an invisible cage, we have two choices: keep walking in circles or start finding the key. Self-learning isn't always about reading another book or picking up a new skill. It's about relearning yourself. It's learning to listen to your true emotions, to accept emptiness, to stop judging yourself when you're weak. It's learning to stand up after the hard days and tell yourself, it's okay. Today, I just need to be a little better. Healing never starts with noise. It begins with small things, like spending 10 quiet minutes each morning, taking a walk without your phone, or writing a few honest lines about how you feel. Slowly, we learn to move slower, to see the world through different eyes no longer clouded by pressure or fear. And one day, we realize that our forest was never gone. It was just hidden beneath the dust of life.
That forest is where we can breathe deeply, be ourselves, and believe that life can still be gentle. The tiger may never return to its real forest, but in its gaze, we see another one, a forest of hope, of instinct to live, of the desire for freedom. And as for us, if we dare to face ourselves, to relearn how to love who we are, that forest will begin to appear too. Because sometimes freedom isn't about going far, it's about coming home to our breath, to our feelings, to the roar that's been silent inside for too long. And when we begin that journey, we're not just learning to heal, we're learning to live again.
Perhaps the most beautiful thing isn't living in a real forest, but carrying that forest within ourselves. A forest of peace, of freedom, of gentle breaths amid countless pressures. The tiger from years ago, after living so long in its iron cage, slowly learned a different way to live. It was still confined, yet its eyes were no longer dull. People saw it bask in the sunlight more often, sometimes growling softly, or rubbing its head against the bars as if trying to say something. Maybe it had stopped trying to escape. Instead, it learned to live fully within that small space, with a freedom that came from within. And so it is with us. We can't escape pressure, nor can we forever run from work, expectations, or responsibility. But we can learn to stand firm amid it all, like the tiger lying still among the noise, like the trees in the forest swaying with the wind, yet keeping their roots deep. Working independently doesn't mean being isolated. On the contrary, it means being strong enough to face challenges alone, yet humble enough to open our hearts to others. It means holding true to our values while still being able to listen and collaborate, like the trees of a forest, each standing apart, but together forming a resilient ecosystem. In a world full of pressure, we don't have to be strong all the time. We just need to keep a small corner of peace for ourselves, a place where we can breathe deeply, let go gently, and remind ourselves, I'm still here and I'm still enough. From that place, we learn to work better, love deeper, and connect more genuinely. Some days the forest within us will be quiet. Some days it will rain. But as long as we tend to it with listening, gratitude, and moments of stillness, that forest will stay green. The tiger no longer roars like it once did in the wild, but in its eyes there's a serenity even the old forest might envy. And for us, amid the rush of life, if we can keep that forest in our hearts, live truthfully, and connect sincerely, then no matter how much pressure the world brings, we'll still be free.